We on?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference for this weekend's game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ryan Mason, obviously, here to answer your questions. As always, please raise your hands and we'll try to get to as many of you as possible. After this, we'll move on to the Daily's briefing, which is embargoed until 10:30 tonight, followed by a Sunday's briefing with Rob and Tom, which is embargoed until Saturday, 10:30. As always, please, no live streaming, no social media posts during the broadcast part of the press conference, and to respect the embargoes as well. Gail, I'm coming to you first.
Hi, Ryan. Do you want to just give us a little bit of team news to start, please?
Yeah, no change. Ben is the only one that hasn't trained. He still hasn't trained, so I'll be honest, I'd be surprised if he's in contention for any of our 3 remaining fixtures, but everyone else has trained this week.
Technically, you can still make the top 4, can't you? But realistically, is the Europa League now the target of the club?
Listen, our target, and I'll probably sound like a broken record, is to get as many points as possible and see where we finish. We can't look ahead. It's very difficult in the Premier League to win 3, 4, 5 games in a row. We know that. We respect the opposition. Every game we play, we respect them. And our mind and our attention has to be on Wolves at the weekend, and it will be. And hopefully doing that, we can get a positive result. And then at the end of next week, hopefully see where we are. But of course, we want to be in European competitions. Of course, this football club, that's what we strive for. That's what we hope. That's what we expect to be in the Champions League going forward, of course.
Yeah, I mean, not wanting to make it sound like making you talk like a broken record, but, the club with the size, the investment, the stadium, the players that you've got, I mean, it has to be, doesn't it? At least the Europa League.
No, of course. Listen, since I've been here as a player over the last 10, 15 years, the chairman has done an incredible job at taking this football club to the next level. And the fact that we're sitting here now saying that we expect Champions League, that's what we want, that's what we expect. I think it goes to show the expectations within the club and outside of the club as well. And of course, when you represent this football club, we want to be playing in the biggest games. See, unfortunately, this season hasn't gone as planned at times, but said it all along, we want to focus our attention to winning as many games as possible from now to the end of the season. We had a bit of a dent last weekend, but we have to bounce back and win this weekend. It's a big game.
Mikel Arteta said this week that it's a great incentive for Arsenal to finish above Spurs. I mean, does that matter to you, or is that quite a nice incentive to stop that happening?
No, I'm sure it is for them. I know the importance when you represent this football club of finishing above them. Of course, I'm a Tottenham man. I know that. We can't think about that. We have to think about winning our games. And the priority for us is this weekend. And of course, I know what it means to the fans to finish above them.
I know you probably answer this every time we see you, but it's the one time we don't ask it that you might actually give us, you might forget and get an answer. Clarity on your future. Have you been given any sort of dates to work to? Have you had any updates? Have you spoken to Daniel Levy about what's happening with you and when?
No, I mean, at the start of our conversations, it was, can you help the football club until the end of the season? And then after that, the role is there to return to what I was doing. So as far as I'm concerned at the moment, there's 3 more games. And I'm incredibly proud to be in this position, helping this football club. And then after that, my hope is to remain here, of course. I love this club. I want to work. I want to help the football club. So that was the conversations before, and we've had no conversations since, because the priority and the aim has been on the games in the Premier League. And obviously we had a League Cup final as well, and to try and win the games in hand.
Just finally from me, I'm sure you've seen the protests at Old Trafford over the last kind of couple of weeks. There is a planned protest for before your game on Saturday, tomorrow. Is that it? Can't remember the days anymore.
Monday.
Yeah. Sorry. Too much lockdown. you've seen how disruptive they've been. Have you got any extra plans in place in terms of stadiums and getting players in, firstly? And secondly, as a Spurs fan, I think you can probably still be heartened, can't you, by seeing the voice that fans have kind of been willing to put forward over the last few weeks in light of what happened with the European Super League. And you can understand them wanting to express their frustration, can't you?
Yeah, I think firstly, I trust our security. I trust that the players and the players' safety is the most important thing, and I trust that we'll get that right. Secondly, I respect the fans. They're the heart and soul of the football club, and their opinion matters. It really does. We want our fans, our team, our football club to be aligned and all pulling in the same direction. But what I will say, and like I said a few minutes ago, our chairman and our board have done incredible for this football club in the last 10, 15, 20 years since they've been here. I know our fans see that. I know our fans respect that as well. So the most important thing for me is the connection with the fans, the players, and everyone involved in the football club. They're entitled to their opinion. There's also Wednesday next week where they can come and help and support the team. And I'm sure that's in the back of their minds as well, to get back in our beautiful stadium and hopefully help the team will be a massive bonus for them.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Moose, Ian Abrahams.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Just on that, with fans coming back next week, I mean, it's going to seem amazing, isn't it? Even how many you have, it won't be full, but it will seem absolutely incredible to finally have them back. Will it give you a sense of perhaps some sort of footballing normalities on the way back?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, it's going to be an incredible feeling because it's been such a long time coming, not having fans, and 10,000 will make a hell of a difference, especially in our stadium as well. The noise generated. We know our fans get behind the group, behind the team as well. So we're looking forward to that. We can't wait for it. We've got a massive game Sunday to prepare for and hopefully get 3 points before that. But of course, we're excited. I think the whole football world and society in general is excited at the thought of some sort of normality in the coming months.
You mentioned just before about the fact that 3 games and then you've been offered the chance to go back and do the job that you've been doing. If you get Spurs into the Europa League, might there be a chance you'll get the top job? And if you don't, do you want to go back to that job? Or now, having had a taste of first team management, would you look to maybe advance your career in that direction?
In terms of my future, I can't really answer questions on what is going to happen. All I know is that I'm here for the next 3 games. And then also the conversations were to return to the job that I was doing of head of player development, which is an important role at the football club. In terms of management, yeah, of course, I love what I'm doing. It's incredible. I love representing this football club and having the honour and the responsibility of helping a group of players get football results, because there's nothing better. The conversations will happen afterwards. The expectation was to return to what I was doing. So we'll see, yes.
And finally, you pretty much ruled Ben Davies out for the next week and a bit, which is till the end of the season. Sounds much more dramatic if I say he won't play again this season. What does that mean for him in the Euros with Wales? And will you need to have a conversation with him at some point about if he's disappointed about missing it?
I'm not sure. So Ben was out on the training pitch today. He was doing some individual work. Hopefully he'll progress very nicely over the next few days and the next week. It's too early to make a decision on the Euros, but I'm sure Ben feels confident within that. We just know, because he's been out for such a long time, it's not very realistic to expect or think that he'll return to training and be playing a game for this football club in the next 10 days.
Thanks, Moose. Okay, we'll move on to Olivia, Premier League Productions.
Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Obviously you lost the League Cup final. It was your first league defeat in charge of Spurs. What was it the same? Did it feel the same, or was it slightly different around the training camp?
We was gutted. I was gutted. It hurts. Obviously to lose a cup final hurt massively. and to lose a league game hurts massively. In terms of comparison, I don't know. Different emotions because the games were different in terms of I felt like the City one, it was a different game to the Leeds one. I thought there was moments in the Leeds one that kind of shaped how the game went against us, but it hurts. I don't like losing. The players don't like losing. The football club don't like losing. We want to win and we expect to win. So any game we lose is disappointing. But in terms of picking the players up and picking the group up, the best therapy is being back out on the football pitch, out on the training pitch, helping the group. And like I say, hopefully at the weekend we'll be fully prepared for Sunday.
And just one final question on Harry Kane. You've been scoring quite freely in the couple of games you've had at home under you. Will he be thinking about winning the Premier League Golden Boot across these last 2 or 3 games for you? Would you reckon? Does he think about that when he steps out onto the pitch?
Listen, I know Harry is one of my best friends. I'm sure he will want to win that. Absolutely. But what I know is that he won't sacrifice that for the team. And Harry's an incredible player. We're so lucky to have him. And if he wins that, and if he can help us win games and also win the Golden Boot, then happy days. But I know Harry won't compromise a team result for his individual result. That's for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Jack Pitbrook and then we'll finish with Ali Gold and Jonathan Ville. Jack first.
Hi, Ryan. We all saw the game at Leeds last week. Has it been a challenge to get the players fully fit over the last few weeks of your tenure?
I think when you've played the best part of 50 games and the stage of the season we're at, I don't think I'm going to change fitness. I think what can change is a mentality, a belief, a confidence, which then can also change the fitness. So in terms of physical output, you're probably going to get that from a mental state or a confidence at this stage of the season because we've played so many games, we've spent so long on the football pitch. So I think the principles we're trying to instill in the team will hopefully help that. And of course, when you're winning games, when the momentum feels good and the confidence is up, there's no such thing as fitness because you don't think about running, you don't think about competing in these moments.
Do you think that the performance at Ellen Road then was a mix of, was it low confidence rather than low fitness? Because the Leeds players did look a bit sharper than some of your players.
No, I think if you look at the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half, I wouldn't have said that at all. If anything, I'd say the complete opposite. We were the team creating chances. And momentum is huge in football. And like I said after the game, if Harry's goal was allowed, which I think it should have been, I still think it should have been, fitness don't come into your mind. The momentum, the feeling is completely different. And the second half, if we would have took one of our chances at 2-2, I don't think anyone would have been speaking about a lack of fitness because we were the team on the front foot. We were the team creating chances. And there's moments in games that define results. And last weekend, those moments probably went against us or we weren't as clinical as we should have been. And then, of course, you can point the finger and say certain things, but fitness isn't an issue for our group at all. I can say that there's no issue with our fitness at all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Ali Gold.
Hey there, Ryan. So I ask you, obviously, I know you don't want to talk about your future too much, obviously, because you don't really know what it's going to be exactly yet. But if, hypothetically, say the new man if there was a new man and he came in and he wanted you to be part of his first team staff, would that be something you would be happy to do?
I think the question you've asked is hypothetically. You said it. Sorry, Ali. I can't really answer that question. Because I don't know. We don't know who it's going to be, what the relationship's going to be. There's so many things that are uncertain. The only certainty that I know is that I'm here for the next 9 or 10 days, and my attention has to be on that. I can't deviate from that because then you start thinking hypothetically and what certain things will look like, and I'm really not allowing myself to do that. I'm sorry to answer the question in that way.
No, that's fine. I mean, I suppose what I'd say is, has this experience slightly changed maybe the time frame in your head of where you want to go with your future?
Listen, I guess I didn't expect to be retired at 25. That was my last game in the Premier League. Time frame and time scale. I've been involved in football a very long time to know that you can't plan for anything, and there's no route, there's no special pathway that a lot of footballers think there is for their development. And the same goes for a coach. If you're ready, if you feel ready, and if you want to be ready, and if football clubs feel like that's right, then of course age is irrelevant. I just know that the football club asked me to do a job until the end of the season. I was very flattered and very honoured, and I felt ready to help this football club. I feel like we're doing a good job. I really do. And of course, the football club, I've said all along, once the season's done, we'll sit and think that's normal, that's natural. But my mind can't think like that, because we really have 3 important games. I've said it all along, and I'll say it again. Sunday is a big game, and we want to go there with our mind, our attention, not just mine, but the players, the board, the fans, to be ready to compete and to win that game, because that's the most important thing.
Okay. Thanks, Ali. We'll move to Jonathan Veal to finish.
Hi there, Ryan. Joe Rodon was in the team under the previous manager and seems to be playing fairly well, but obviously he's not featured in the 4 games that you've been in charge of. Is there a specific reason for that?
No, I'll be honest. So Joe was probably unfortunate in terms of timing. He was suspended for the cup final. So I felt the first league game, it was probably right to have the group consistent for what it was going to be in the next game. He's trained well. He's done well. All the 21 outfield players have competed in training. It's made it very difficult for me to pick a team and to pick a squad as well. But I've been happy. I've been happy with everyone. I think the defence, the team has done well. So it's difficult. But when you play for a football club like this, and when you're in this position that I am making decisions for this football club, there's always going to be players that are disappointed. But the most important thing for me is that he's remained professional. He's worked hard. He's trained well, and he's been good around the club. So that's a massive tick from him.
Perfect. Thanks, Jonathan. Okay, guys, that will be the end of the broadcast part of the press conference. We'll move